Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's Hooptalk, the podcast, man. A new time slot, Sundays at 6 p.m. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the same gang as usual. We're going to get started quick and easy. We're going to have a pretty short day, depending on how these debates go. We are going to sprinkle in some NBA content for the first time in a long time. And if you guys were tuning in to back in those days, those debates, they can get a little hectic. So let's
Luca's
see
not a
how
point guard, apparently. I'll never forget that.
yeah, let's see how that goes. Everybody, cross your fingers. Let's see if we can survive. If this friendship will last any longer than this episode. All right. Um, but let's start with the local stuff as usual. That's what the Who Talk podcast is all about these days, man. We got some E League action this weekend. I was there. Obviously, I coached one of the teams myself, and then I believe the guys hopefully were able to take some time to watch, but not a lot of action to discuss. Two games. We have the Lions, Alpha Lions to be specific, for those of you who have watched this in the past. You know, another Lions team that we talk about a lot. But the Alpha Lions, completely different organization, played against the Airmen Army. And the Lions did come out of that victorious. I don't remember the exact score, but I'm going to pull it up here in a second. Um, it was a pretty decisive win, which I was surprised about. Tyler, I know you said you took some time to scan through it. Do you have any feedback on that game?
Not necessarily. From what I do remember, though, I think it was 72-61. I think the score was, or something around there. The Lions were in control of that game for the most part. What I've been liking seeing though is Will is like a really enjoyable person for me to watch, um, and I like seeing him really take that opportunity with this team to coach. I like seeing him on the sideline. I like that development for him because I feel like he's a high IQ player. He's a good point guard, and I feel like it's kind of showing off on the Airmen. There's some familiar faces that we have there. I'm gonna say his name wrong. Oh man, Hashua from the Stampede, the Ox League. I've seen him on that team as well. So it
Hosea.
looks like it's kind of Hosea almost. I'm thinking of my cousin. That's right. That's his name. All right, but it's been nice seeing them because it looks like it's a younger squad, that group, compared to the Navy team that we see as well. So it looks like it's more of a development opportunity, not just for them, but then also Will to really kind of step into that coaching role. And I've liked seeing that. The Lions though, they look pretty nice. That's a new squad, right? The Alpha Lions, like they've never been in the E League before.
Oh, yeah, they're new overall. I believe they've never been anywhere.
Yeah, they've been pretty interesting to watch so far in the two games that I've seen this week and about 2 weeks ago when they played last time. I've been enjoying watching them.
Yeah, 77-65 was the final score. And just to give the people some more insight on who, let me see if I could pull them up here, who the Alpha Lions are. It's actually a team run by Coach Benny. I do forget his last name. I apologize, Coach Benny. But Coach Benny is a trainer in the area. He runs Alpha Sports Performance. It's a basketball development, sports performance training facility. I think I'm not 100% sure, but based on what I see on their Instagram, I think they have their own gym. I don't know. I'm gonna send this episode to Coach Benny so he can watch and show his team. You know that we're talking about them. So hopefully he can correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to leave it in the comment section if anything I say is incorrect. I'm just basing it off of what I'm able to deduce from social media. But yeah, he has a sports performance training business, and if I'm not mistaken, these are the players that he trains. That's how I'm understanding it. So he decided to put them together in a team, and he heard about the E League, and now here we are. They started a little rough, I'd say, with their losing their first game, but for the most part, they've picked it up. I think they finished at 500. I think they're now 3-3. So they've been doing pretty good. There's a player on there. I haven't had an opportunity to memorize their roster's names, unfortunately, but there's a player on there they have that I really like, super athletic. I wish could do better with their names, but we'll work on it for future episodes because, usually the first couple interactions are the roughest for me when it comes to names. But I'll get there. But yeah, that's a little insight on the Lions. It is not the Lions that we've spoken about in the past, but it seems like Lions is a
Yeah.
popular name choice.
It tricked me at the beginning when I first saw them. I was thinking because the Stampede and the Lions were at one point in the FBA, or at least on the E League team. I remember.
Yeah, they were
So
in the E League.
I
Yeah,
was
so
thinking they came back, and then I saw Alpha Lions and I saw Red. And I'm like, well, that's a little different.
yeah, so Hoopers, man, if you're watching this episode, make sure you hit them up. Team Alpha SP on Instagram. Team Alpha SP. That's S as in Sam, P as in Paul. Hit up Coach Benny, man, if you're interested in improving your skills as a basketball player. This is the place to be, man. He's local. He's easy to get to. And he even has experience in these leagues. And he's actually looking to join the FBA as well. That's going to be his main goal, which is typically what you see out of E League teams. So far, it hasn't happened. A team hasn't quite met the qualifications, but I think Team Alpha might be the one. Team Alpha might be the first one to finally get themselves, how can I say, upgraded to a full time FBA team. So we'll see if Coach Benny still wants to do that. I heard rumors and rumblings that he's interested, so hopefully he does. I think he can put together a very competitive team. And you know me, I always want more teams in the FBA. So,
Yeah.
um, go ahead.
Real quick, because I'm actually looking at the Airman versus the Lion game. You guys are better than names than I am. I was watching it a little bit, like really quick. Number two, I think it's their point guard. He's pretty good. He's not bad at all. I was just watching him today, earlier this morning. He's not bad at all.
The Army's
He's
point
really good
guard.
at like,
The Army's
huh?
point guard is bold.
No, the Lions,
Oh,
number two.
oh no, I'm not too good with their names just yet, but we're gonna get there, and
Okay.
I'm sure we'll. If we clip this up, I'm sure we'll put his name in the comment section. But
For sure, yeah,
I
we
haven't
gotta
got a
find him.
list of names yet.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good though, and I see some familiar faces on a lot of these teams too. That's pretty dope.
Shine on especially whenever
Yeah,
we talk
it's
about the
pretty dope.
names.
yeah, man, we definitely we needed the Army to lose this game too, so that was gonna be clutch for us. I definitely did have the Army coming out of this. I'm not even going front. I did think the Army were gonna pull this off based on how well they did the last week of games. Excuse me, but they did not. The Lions pulled through pretty decisively. They won by double digits. And I thought, that was going to be good for us. But the next E-League game did not end as anticipated. It was my own Viper squad going up against Shine On, who we did
How did
manage
that
to
go?
beat our first matchup with them. But I think just like kind of how we talked about in our team huddle after the game is we got to stop trying to be a second half team so much. It's kind of annoying at times, but it's really what our downfall is. We start so lackadaisical, lazy, not really emphasizing what we're supposed to do to win a game. And then we kind of just pick it up in the second half. You know what I mean? So like, you get yelled at for not rebounding. All of a sudden, we rebound better in the second half. You get yelled at for missing your defensive assignments. All of a sudden, we start hitting our defensive assignments more consistently in the second half. But the problem with that is you have to hope the other team isn't picking it up themselves. You know what I mean? So like when you're a second half team, you have to hope the other team is not a second half team, right? Because it doesn't matter if you pick it up, if they got it rolling because you allowed them to get it rolling, you allowed them to get the momentum and to get the adrenaline pumping by missing your defensive assignments. Now a guy hit three threes. Now he's on fire. You know what I mean? You don't crash the boards. Now their big is all hyped and shit because he's getting all the rebounds and he's big as fuck. You know what I mean? Like once you've already hyped them up in the first half, now it's like you've given them the momentum and the energy to now keep up, even if you pick it up in the second half. So like playing like that is not a what's the word
Productive.
consistent way to win a basketball game. You know what I mean? So that's really what went wrong. But I know Tyler, you said you had a question about that game.
Well, first, before I get into that, onto what you said, it's interesting though because this game I feel like you guys actually played very well in the first half, and the second half is where everything faltered. The first half, you guys were within six of them for majority of that game, and at point early in the game, you guys had a lead. But I don't I think the second half is where things went really bad. There's a point where number 15 on China, and I apologize, I don't have the names, but number 15 on China hits a dunk, and like it like sucked the air out of the Vipers. I feel like for a little while because you guys started getting slower to get back in transition on defense. That's when you guys started missing the assignments in the second half and the third quarter. Shots started getting taken at really inopportune times, at really bad moments, and I think like you guys kind of reacted to that dunk in the wrong way. But what happened in the fourth quarter? Because I feel like everything just completely turned around. You guys were down like 13-14, and you brought it back within two. Like, what changed in the fourth quarter, do you think, to kind of get everything back
Um,
together?
a lot. Trayvon Osborne is the player that you're referring to. Trayvon Osborne, number 15 for Shine On. Very talented player, super athletic, man. Definitely somebody to check out and worth watching. All those games are posted on the FBA page, man. So if y'all want to see a very talented young man go out there and hoop, Trayvon Osborne is the man to go watch on Shine On. He's very, very good. But I mean, a lot of things happened. Some our fault, some not our fault. But at the end of the day, all you can do is focus on what you can control. I think we did a great job of locking um, in the final minutes of that fourth quarter. I think the issue is, with my, talking from a personal perspective, with my schedule change, practices haven't been possible, right? So there's things that you have to learn in practice and that you have to fix and tailor to in practice that we just haven't had the luxury of doing, right? So like there was points at the end of that game where, I was lucky enough to have Coach Rob helping me on the sideline because I was a few minutes late. I'll admit that. And Coach Rob helped me out. So a lot of the huddles, he voiced his opinion and he gave his 2 cents, and he gave us the suggestion to the last probably like the last 2 minutes, maybe like a minute and a half, to start face guarding, right? And that's one of the first things that started going wrong, right? So we leave the huddle with the intention of face guarding, uh, and full court pressing. We don't face guard, right? We play the defender. We play the ball instead of playing the defender, right? When you play the ball, you stay behind the player and you just stop them from catching the ball comfortably. When you face guard, you're playing in front of the defender, where you're between or not the defender, the offensive player, where you're between the offensive player and the ball, stopping them from just catching the ball altogether. Excuse me, I apologize. I muted myself to be safe there. But we didn't do that the first two or three inbound plays, and they got the ball a little bit too comfortably. Now, to be fair, we did turn them over regardless, so the pressure was pretty decent. But that's the stuff that kind of fucks you up. If we could just lock in and do what we were told to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's me speaking as a coach. If we could just lock in and do what we're supposed to do, who knows how many more turnovers we force? Who knows how many more opportunities we get to score that leads us to getting a lead? And I'm talking about a decisive lead, 4 point lead, a 6 point lead, because it was within our grasp. And then with one, I remember it like it was yesterday, because it was yesterday. 1 minute and 16 seconds left to go. Um, the instruction is to continue to face guard and to continue to stop them from catching the ball. And 1 minute and 16 seconds left to go, we foul intentionally. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, why are we doing that? We were down by four, 1 minute and 16 seconds left to go. We foul intentionally, and it was all a miscommunication. Apparently, I had said something the first time we foul intentionally. Um, and I guess I made a comment, why are we fouling? Why are we fouling? Why did we do that? Did we just do that on purpose? And I guess in the heat of the game, people misconstrued the words together and thought I said, let's foul on
Are
purpose.
we fouling?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I guess that's what happened. I guess there was a miscommunication. So we gave up free throws for no reason. I don't think they hit the majority of them. So, again, we get lucky, but, like, that's the stuff that when you talk about locking in, that's what locking in means. It's like doing things the right way to get us that win. And then at the end of that game, that's what really fucked us over. We called the timeout. NBA rules, I want you guys to tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. In the moment, I was in agreement with what the table was telling me, but after Coach Rob spoke to us and gave us his 2 cents, I'm kind of leaning more towards he was right. So you tell me whether or not this is correct. NBA rules, you can call a timeout in the last 2 minutes as the defensive team. Can you not? While they're inbounding the ball? If they have
Inbound.
not inbounded
At
the
the
ball
inbound.
at the
It
inbound,
has to be at the inbound, but
exactly.
it
If they have
cannot
not,
be in
yeah,
play. Yeah,
if they have not inbounded
you're
the
right.
ball, you have the ability to call a timeout because you see what they're setting up for and you want to reorganize your defense. I've seen that happen a
You can
million
do that.
times, right?
But the
Yeah.
whole thing is, I think specifically, once the ball goes into the inbounder's hand, I don't think that you can call a timeout anymore.
No, you can.
You
I'm
can?
pretty sure you can.
I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think that matters because it's
I think it
still,
has to be
yeah.
in play. So as soon as the pass happens, it's over. I think it has to be in play. But again,
So
that's a very specific rule, though.
I just wanted to
So that
clarify
was,
that though. I just wanted to clarify that for the sake of future reference. I just want to make sure we follow the rules correctly for future reference. Now we got the timeout regardless, but they started telling us that we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. Blah blah blah. I was like, okay, yes we are. You know, if we're playing by NBA rules, yes we are. So that's whatever. And then then the referee tells us the other team is taking the ball out sideline. Baseline, the opposite side, right? So that's what we plan for. That's what we set up our defense for, and that's what we talk to the guys about based on what they're going to have to do. The fact that they're going to have to get the ball up the court, what we want to do to try and get that turnover and try to get that stop. As we get out of the timeout, the referee now tells us that they get the opportunity to advance. I'm like, okay, so now they have to get it up. Now they have to inbound it from the half court line. That's not what we just spent a whole minute in the fucking huddle talking through. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what fucked us up because you have to accept that these are humans at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I gotta look at the camera more. You gotta accept that these are fucking humans at the end of the day, and you know you change something at the last second for them, their brains are gonna scramble. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? So like, the referee should have prepared us for what was supposed to happen, so we could prepare for what was supposed to happen. Now now we don't have any timeouts left, and at the end of the day, we didn't lose the game because of that. We lost the game because of the lack of rebounding in the first half. They got a lot of offensive boards. Our defensive assignments during that press was bad. The first three possessions, that was bad, and we yelled about it. We had to call a timeout to yell about it. So we lost the game because we didn't do what we were supposed to do to win. But like, you want things to go as fairly as you can. Now there was a referee situation that I won't, say out loud just to let the E-League keep its privacy. But there was a referee situation that we had to fight through. The other team also had to fight through at the end of the day. So that was a factor as well. But I mean, that's essentially what lost us the game. That little mishap at the end, I mean, it scrambled our guys, and next thing you know, number 15, Mr. Trayvon Osborne, is wide open for a layup, and he wins the game, and we lose.
I do want to shout out Nick though, Nick McCallie a lot
yeah,
on
he had
the last like
crazy
2 minutes of
good.
the game.
Yeah.
No, he had one or two really nice threes. I believe it was three in the last 2 minutes. I'm just trying to check if it was right before.
I'm
He
watching it
has
right
that
now.
nice
Yeah.
foul. He gets a foul called on him. Or I'm sorry, he baits out a foul from Shine On to get you guys at the free throw line to get you guys even closer to the win. His defensive assignment, he gets him to turn over the ball as well in the last 2 minutes. So I think he was making a lot of good decisions. Who's number
Jello
two
too.
for the Vipers?
Number 2 is, I believe, Jay.
Jay got to tighten up a little bit more defensively. Um, he was kind of the person to put them on the free throw line
Yeah,
twice
100%. I
in
just
the last part
watched
of that game.
Tyler. I'm with you on that. I'm literally watching it, and it was like two or three possessions in a row. He got broke down. Man got to the basket. Broke down. Foul. Broke down. Another foul. Like I'm watching it. Like yeah. I was looking at it. I
And
know
then
Jay. I've known Jay since we've been in middle school because we're around the same age. We actually had the same exact birthday. Crazy fun fact. But crazy, right? But yeah, he's actually super uber athletic. So the fact that he's getting beat off the dribble to me is pretty crazy to me because he's a pretty disciplined player on defense at times. So I think it's a little crazy.
Jello too. We talk about Jello a lot because he's kind of like the prodigy. Like we've seen him kind of develop
Yeah,
into where
grow
he is
up.
now for a little
Yeah,
while now. Jello though also if the decision was that you guys were going to face guard them on the inbounds, Jello was not necessarily doing that. Jello was guarding the person who was getting the ball inbound to them most often, and they were able to get that pretty easily. Uh,
yeah,
I think there was a lot of small decisions that people just did not necessarily listen to, and I think that's where everything faltered.
Yeah, I
And
yeah.
think.
I think is Greg's not coaching for Shine On though. It's another guy, bald with glasses, right?
Yeah, that
No, he
dude, the
is.
dude number 24, he played in the what's it called? The league with me that year. That
Oxley.
the
He played in
Oxley. Yeah,
Simmons.
he's Oxley.
No, Greg is the
Yeah.
coach, but now they're busy. Obviously, now things are revving up for the. He's been coaching the entire time, but last Saturday they had a
Okay.
game at the same time, so they were in Poinciana playing. So um,
Okay,
he
that
couldn't
makes
coach
sense.
yet, but he's been coaching this whole time. I think it's a matter of the schedule. I think he might not be able to now because our playoffs are probably going to be most likely the same week that they start playing. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, he has been coaching this whole time.
Hey,
It was just that game.
well,
Okay.
speaking about Greg and speaking about Poinciana, what do we got next?
Yeah, but that's our E League action, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap into the E League on FBA Hoops on YouTube at FBA Hoops on YouTube. That's what I meant to say. Great games to catch, definitely worth it. But next up on our lines is the Lambs. We talked about the Lambs TBL roster last week. Less players to talk about today, but they have announced a variety of different players. So we're going to talk through them. Some very good names, names that we've talked about on the podcast multiple times, and one of them being Gregory St. Remy, ladies and gentlemen. Semi-pro vet in this area. He's been playing on semi-pro teams. He's had his own semi-pro teams, Pride Basketball, if anybody remembers those days. Now he has his own thing with Shine On. He's been with the Lambs for a while now. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he was there during their FBA season. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there during
Mhm.
the FBA season. So he's been with the Lambs for a few years now. That was back in 2023. So he's been with the Lambs for a few years now. Um, so Old Faithful is returning to the Kissimmee Lambs for their TBL season. That's why he was not in attendance to coach his Shine On team at the E League. Um, we'll talk about the
Didn't need to
results of
worry
that
about it
game
anyway.
afterwards. What happened?
He didn't even have to be there anyway. They still got the win.
Yeah, very good team. And very well coached. Now, crazy enough, it's a team that was put together completely randomly. A lot of them are not actual Shine On players that he has, in the past. So, very good luck with the draw for Shine On there. Very good players. But that goes to show you who Greg St. Remy is, you know what I mean? To tell you guys a little bit more about his play style. In most cases, I really would define him as a point guard. I think because of the landscape of the realm that he's playing in. He might find himself as
Going
a
forward.
shooting guard, small forward type of thing. But he really is naturally more of a point guard. He likes to be the ball handler. He likes to be the decision maker. He is extremely vocal on the defensive end, extremely active hands, very, very good moving his feet. His lateral movement is phenomenal, in my opinion. Very, very good defender. He's a two-way point guard playmaking type. So if you guys want to watch him, we've had him on our page a million times. He's been in the GM5. He's been in the FBA. He's been in the TBL. Or I'm sorry, he's going to be in the TBL. He's been in the ABA. That's what I meant to say. So he's been all over the place, and that's not even all of it. That's just all that I know. Gregory is everywhere, even in the AAU scene. My AAU team played his AAU team one time. Um, and he's everywhere, man. So that's new addition for the Kissimmee Lambs. You guys got anything you want to add about good old Greg?
Oh
We've
yeah.
talked a few times. Greg's a pro. Like we've talked
Yeah.
last season when we were covering the Vipers. They have Greg. They had Zay, and those are like two legitimate just pro players that understand what it takes to win. And like you mentioned, I really think his size is what puts him at the forward position. But when you actually sit down and you watch him how he plays, he's facilitating, he's defending a lot more than he's looking to score.
Yeah.
He's looking to set people up. He's looking to get people involved, and he talked about that as well when we did some interviews at the TBL's opening day when they were doing the initial tryouts. He had mentioned his goal on the basketball court is to involve other people and get other people going, and I think he's great at that. I think he's a great addition to a squad that I think is already great, and he's been there
Yeah.
for a little while, so he has history with them.
Yeah. I would say his intangibles. I mean, we all know Greg. I could keep saying he's a good passer, but you guys too have already said that and exploited that. So I'll say the intangibles. I mean, we've got to see him up close in the GM5 and actually get to hear him. That's one thing that I like about the GM5. We get to hear a lot of the on court action, and he holds players accountable in an appropriate way where it's receptible and it's like a coach on the floor. And I think that's a really big thing with this team. And him being like, I guess you would say one of the old heads on the team when things get crazy, he's going to be able to kind of just bring everybody back together and like kind of, center it all. And I think that's when he was really good on the Vipers. Because if we all know the Vipers are on go. They were always on go. But sometimes in the game, Greg would step in and kind of be the ball dominant person and slow the Vipers down and help them to victory in a different way than the Vipers usually do. And I just feel like when you have him on a team like this with Melo, you have all these other pieces. A leader like himself, someone that everybody will genuinely respect, I think is going to be a very, very good addition to this team.
Listen, they got old heads. That's for damn sure. That's gonna be the next person we're gonna talk about. Yeah, we're talking about old heads, man. We got to mention the UCF legend himself, good old Keith Clanton,
Yeah.
man.
Speaking of leaders, the leading rebounder.
Yeah, the leading rebounder in UCF history. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. He has more rebounds than Taco Fall himself. Yes, sir.
And Chad Brown.
And who?
And Chad Brown.
Oh, I didn't even know Chad went to UCF. That's crazy. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's news
all
to
4
me.
years.
Oh, wow.
All 4 years.
That is news to me. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, I went to his dorm one time. I met Taco Falls. He is a huge human being.
He played
He came
with
out the room
Taco?
like this. Yeah, I met Taco.
No, I'm
I
saying
met Taco twice.
No, I'm saying he played with Taco.
Yeah, he played with Taco. I met Taco twice.
That means he's not even close. What the fuck? I thought.
Yeah.
What the? If he was there with Taco,
How
then
you
Taco
get
was
more
getting the
rebounds
majority
than
of
Taco?
those rebounds. Chad probably wasn't even close. I'd be surprised if Chad has half the rebounds.
He averaged 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
I met Taco downtown.
you just mentioned
And
Chad
he's
so his
walking
name could be
downtown
dragged down
Orlando.
through the mud. That's crazy. You just put him on the spot. You threw him in front of a moving semi-truck, bro. That's crazy. That's insane.
I wish you guys. Chad is the reason we would come in second place in a lot of our tournaments. So
Man.
it's a little love jab. It's a little love jab. But real quick, yeah, Taco Falls I met twice, and Aaron Gordon, all in Chad's room at his at UCF. When I go over there, that's actually crazy. Just thought about that. It all hit me.
Yeah, Taco was at UCF when I was at UCF. I met him a couple times too.
Yeah.
Nothing
Cool
formal,
dude.
but yeah, just saw him around. I saw the first time I ever saw Taco Fall, which is a little off topic. Then we'll get back to Keith. But first time I saw Taco Fall, I was walking to my class. He was walking to his class, and I just see a giant. You know what I mean? And I wasn't that tapped into UCF basketball because at that, before Taco, they were like, pretty bad. With Taco, they did make it to a tournament one year, so shout out to them.
They did.
But I saw him walking, and I just saw a giant. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that a human? There's no way. What the fuck is going on? That man was so tall,
huge, bro.
And like, I have
He's
a different perception of height because I'm 6'3" myself. So like, I see somebody who's 6'8", 6'9", and obviously I can tell they're tall, but I don't see the difference in height that other people see. So they don't seem like giants to me. You know what I
Agreed.
mean? Like, I can recognize
Agreed.
that you're tall, obviously, because I'm 6'3" and you're taller than me. So I can recognize that you're tall, but I just don't see the same wow factor that a 5'8" person or a 5'10" person would see. You
Or
know what I
someone
mean?
like Tyler.
But I saw Taco. Oh, okay. Well, there was no need for that. There was no need for that. I wasn't going there.
What's up with you? This man is throwing me under the bus? Chad under the bus?
He's just trying to make sure everybody dies today. That's crazy. I was like, that's insane. But yeah, I saw Taco. I was like, yeah, that's a height gap that I could be shocked at. I was like, golly, what the fuck is this, man? Is this an alien? Like,
Shit's
what the
scary,
fuck?
bro. Shit's scary.
Yeah, what is he, like 6'7", 7',
7'6", bro.
7'6"?
7'6". He comes in the rooms at UCF were too small for him, so you would have to like.
Isn't he taller than
duck
Wemby?
under. Yeah, you would have to duck under.
I don't think he is anymore. I think Wemby has grown.
I think they were standing next to each other at the All-Star weekend, and I think Taco's taller.
I think they're around.
I think there was a picture that was circulating.
No, I'm looking at a picture right now where Wemby looks taller than him.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
He's also slouched. Yeah.
Or maybe it was just an angle that I saw a different picture at or something. But yeah, that was my
I
experience
think
with
Wemby's
Taco.
7'7" now.
Shout out to
I think
Taco
the
Fall, though.
funniest thing from the All Star, real quick, half before we go, and Taco Falls, it was when Giannis said Taco go in there, act like Wemby. I was freaking dying, bro.
Yeah, he said act like Wemby, not KD, right? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, Giannis is having a time.
Yeah, shout out Taco Fall, man. He was at the NBA Celebrity All-Star game, so that was dope. I didn't know Taco was in the qualifications for that, but shout out to him, man. But back to UCF legends, Keith Clanton, who beat out Taco Fall for most rebounds. If I'm not mistaken, Keith Clanton has 1,000 rebounds on the dot, 1,000 rebounds at UCF. So shout out to him.
Right.
He's joining the Lambs for the second year in a row. He was with them last year in the ABA. He's going to be with them again in the TBL. We just witnessed, you guys witnessed him for the first time here at GM5, and I remember telling y'all, before the first week, well, when he wasn't there, I kept telling y'all, I was like, listen, wait till you see Keith. Just wait till you see Keith. Like we thought Tim was good because we saw Tim a little bit with was it OTB or was it? It was OTB, right? Yeah, he was with
Yeah.
OTB in the beginning. Yeah,
Yeah,
we saw
couple
Tim.
games, like 2 games.
Yeah, we saw Big Tim with OTB a little bit at the beginning, and we, obviously he was a phenomenal and talented big man. We saw how good he was, and I was telling the guys like I think Keith is an upgrade, and to say that from a player like Tim, who's such a phenomenal player, I think it came as a Nas's bullshit. There's no way. But I was trying. I was like, you know what? Let's just wait. Let's wait till he shows up, and then you'll see. First game, I think he had what 20 and 20 right off the bat, and like he went crazy.
I think it's the truth.
Yeah, Keith Clanton is one hell of a player, man. Just a short little description of him before the guys can give their 2 cents is, he's pretty much a standard center, I would say. He shoots the three ball, but he's not really gonna do that too much. But for the most part, he's your standard post up big. You know what I mean? You post him up in down low, he's gonna get it done. He has good footwork, phenomenal strength, and uses his height to his advantage, obviously very well. We all know big men that don't, so that is a talent in of itself. He uses his height to his advantage very well. He's a phenomenal passing big. You put him in the mid post, he works very well with a team that knows what they're doing, a team that can move the ball, that can use screens appropriately, who cut to the basket when it's the right time. A team that knows how to play organized basketball is going to get Keith 20 assists because he's going to see everything, he's going to see everyone, and he's going to hit them at the right time. Whether it's a dribble handoff, whether it's a bounce pass down the lane, whether it's a regular pass, it doesn't matter. Keith is a very good passing big man. And I would argue, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I give him a Pau Gasol esque game. I would say. I don't want to say Jokic. I don't want to say Jokic because I think Jokic does it at a different caliber. I think Keith's playmaking is more to the volume of Pau Gasol than it is to the volume of Jokic. That's why I say Pau Gasol.
I was thinking his comp is more Marc Gasol because of his ability to pass and also how great of a defender he is. I think Paul Gasol is just slightly more fluid. I think he's produces more with the ball in his hands rather than a Marc Gasol, and that's where I see him a little bit more. He's a fantastic blocker. He's a fantastic defender. He's great in the mid post, just like Mark and Paul. But he can also shoot a little bit better, which I think is something that we never really got to see with Paul.
You think he
Yeah.
could shoot better than Pau Gasol?
Well, the 3 point line,
Well,
yes.
listen, relative to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
yeah.
we're at.
Scaling it to each
Relative.
other. No, I understand what you
Yeah.
mean. Scaling it, I don't think he shoots better than Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol was a phenomenal shooter.
Uh, I didn't get to see him too well, but when I looked at his college tapes and I looked at some of his highlights from some of the leagues he's been in, I think he absolutely can shoot. We just have not really been seeing him shoot.
Oh, I guess from my experiences, I haven't seen it. Yeah, so maybe if you did a little deeper digging, what the fuck, then yeah, you probably saw it more than I did. I guess from my GM5 experience and from my ABA experience, I didn't see him really going out there too often.
Yeah.
We
I
can
think
see. He does have a mid range
someone,
game though.
He does.
yeah,
I do
someone,
know that.
yeah. I think my take on Keith is like I just feel like he's just, um, I mean, like y'all said, he exploded in passing, but I guess I'll take more about the amount of space that this motherfucker takes. Like, bro catches the ball in the post, and all eyes are on him immediately. Double teams are being sent to him. This will work good with slot cutters. This will work very well with someone who's a shooter. This is like a player that's you don't really. So I know we're talking about him, but he's a very very like rare economy, and I like him. And I'm gonna say a name, Vadi Divac. I think on the break, Keith looks like that a little bit with his passing ability with Melo, and when he has those guards who are slashers, he kind of like looks a little bit like him. I haven't got to see his post game just like Nas as well as you guys have. I just know that if you're smaller than him, he's gonna baby you. But I haven't got to see his I would say his more fluid post game. His maybe up and under spin moves. I really haven't got to see that at the GM5. It was mostly crab walking and dumping it back out to Melo, finding open shooters. But I feel like now that we're going to see him in a more um, competitive setting, I think we'll see more of what Keith offers. But the fact that he's just a man who just is a sinkhole for a defense it's an ability within itself. So yeah, I love that.
He's a genuine person that I could, because there's a lot of mouths to feed on this team, so I do expect people to be looking to score. But like
Yeah,
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to see him averaging like 15, 10, and 5, 15,
yeah,
10, and 7.
yeah,
I think that easily he could
yeah.
do that. I
I think
have to
he can.
see some more of the competition of the TBL though. This is something new to me, so I don't want to
Yeah,
disrespect anybody saying that though, just in case.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna learn very soon here after our last player that the competition in the TBL can be crazy because the Lambs have from our perspective and from our standards a stacked roster. So
And
when we
Avengers.
yeah when we see the results of their last game, I think we're all gonna be surprised. But last piece that has been announced, not the last player that will be on the roster. I'm sure the Lambs are gonna go for a full blown 15-man roster. But the last player that they've announced and that has met all the criteria to finally sign their contract is actually another UCF legend, ladies and gentlemen, who I imagine probably came to this team through connections with Keith. I would imagine. Now, they did not play together after I did my investigating. Keith actually came literally as soon as this guy graduated. And this guy is going to be Jermaine Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who keep up with local hoops and may know anything about it, player who went to UCF, averaged 26 points per game his last season as a senior. So he was a bucket getter, let me tell you that. Drafted in the NBA, eventually ended up with the Rockets. I forget what team drafted him, but he ended up on the Rockets, not with the team that drafted him.
The Cavs, I think.
Cavs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs drafted him, I believe, early in the second round, if I'm not mistaken, and he was like the 32nd pick, something like that. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong. It's in the post as well. But UCF legend, he is, according to the post, and this I knew him as, I don't know him like to the degree where I know his game that well, but I know him as somebody that I've always been hearing in passing and in conversations or whatever. So I've heard of him a lot. And I knew him as UCF's leading scorer. But according to the Post, the Lambs he's the leading scorer during their Division One era. For those of you who are unfamiliar, UCF wasn't always a Division One school, but he's their leading scorer during their Division One era. So shout out to him, and he is at all time he's the second leading scorer. So we're talking about two UCF legends, two people on their leaderboards. Go ahead.
Wait, it's 3.
He was
My
drafted
bad.
by he was drafted by Washington, and he was the 36th pick. 32nd pick. My bad. 32nd pick.
Yeah, we're drafted by Washington there. So I got the pick right, but I didn't get the team right there. But he ended up on the Rockets. He did not play for Washington. He ended up on the Rockets. That was where he played his rookie season. But NBA talent. If you guys want to go to the Kissimmee Lambs page at Kissimmee Lambs on Instagram, before it goes away, they actually posted a little highlight. Actually, no, I think it's a post. Never mind. So it's not gonna go away. They posted a highlight reel of him. I don't know if it was a NBA highlight reel or if it was a game. I think it was a specific game versus Kobe, if I'm not mistaken. So they posted that. That was pretty dope. So a player that has that type of experience is gonna be phenomenal for the Lambs. NBA experience, the simple fact that you got to share the basketball court with Kobe Bryant is already a level of experience that is, unfathomable at that point. So shout out to him for, being able to make his dreams come true, becoming a legend at UCF for what he's done. 26 points per game in college is outrageous. I want to make sure everybody understands that.
Yeah,
26 points per game in college
hard.
is equivalent to a 35 points per game in the NBA. You know what I mean? And not even because I feel like 25 points per game 35 points per game in the NBA has been happening every once in a while. You know what I mean? It might be even more than that. It might be closer to James Harden's 36 points per game. You know what I mean? 26 is not a common occurrence in college. That is a lot of points to score in college. To give you reference, some of Duke's most legendary players didn't even crack 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Brandon Ingram didn't even average 20. I don't even think he did.
I
So
don't think
like,
so. I think he was like 18 or
yeah. So
19.
and Brandon Ingram was a phenomenal college athlete. He was a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm saying that. So like 26 points per game for a Division I college. That's another aspect to consider. Is huge, man. So Jermaine Taylor, or as listed on the page now, Tyler, but his name is Jermaine Taylor. He's going to be a phenomenal addition. I don't know too much about his game. I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to watch clips and learn about him, but I just don't know too much about his game, unfortunately.
He's an efficient shooter. But real quick, hot take here. You guys let me know if you agree. I don't care about the 70s. So I think that we could remove the two people from the 70s, Bo and Mike Clark, even though I do respect them,
Oh, that's when it
for
was from?
D1. Yeah, we could remove them and he's number one because he leads in the season. He has 812 points in a season. And then he's also number four in highest points scored a game at 45. To me, he's their leading scorer. To
Yeah,
me.
that's crazy. He was raw. That's great.
That is crazy. That
I
is
want to see
crazy.
him play so bad, so I'm definitely going to be keeping up with the Lambs schedule. I really want to try my hardest, and I think I should be free, so I'm going to try and catch their first home game. I'm pretty sure I'm free. I don't think we have
What
anything on
date is that?
Saturdays. I want to say March 7th, but don't quote me.
We should all go out there together if we're
Yeah.
not busy.
I gotta see if I can. But he developed with the UCF Knights, so he didn't start until his junior season.
Wow.
Um, he looks. I do have to watch more because he is a new name for me. But from just looking him up, he was a great shooter. Realistically, at that time, we're thinking of the late 2000s. People were really stretching the floor as much. Great 3-point shooting from him. He had a 41-point season, a 37%, and then another 38% from three. So I do expect him to kind of stretch the floor, especially with some other people that they have.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, man. His 6'4" shooting guard. That's gonna be really big time. He might even be able to slip into the three spot for this caliber. But based on the what I've seen from from this TBL teams, especially the one that they played, looks like height is a common occurrence. It's not like any other leagues we've been a part of. That Texas team that the Lambs played had a couple guys 6'8" and up. So the Lambs themselves appear to have a couple guys 6'8" and up as well. So height is going to be a factor. So we might be able to see in the TBL more of the traditional basketball that we tend to see at the NBA level. You know what I mean? Where guys have actual average heights for the most part at certain positions, and you don't have to see guys forced into uncomfortable positions. Like for example, in the GM5, you might see a guy who's really more of a small forward being forced to play center. You know what I mean? We used to talk about Kel all the time. He's realistically plays a lot more like a shooting guard, small forward if he was playing at a higher level than he does as a center. But he, just because of how height works at these levels, he's just stuck in a situation where he has to play center. So I think in the TBL, we're going to see a lot of guys play positions that they're way more comfortable in and that they might be able to show their bag to a different degree. So I'm very excited to see what some of those guys on the Lambs team are going to look like and what it all kind of translates to when they're playing a role that I believe they were always meant to play. You know what I mean?
I'm excited. I'm
AJ's
looking
been a
forward to
center.
it.
You know what I mean? And I don't
Yeah,
think he's a center at all.
AJ's definitely a three all the way. And a small three at that if he's at the next level. The 6'4",
Yeah,
six
he's like
five
six
really is a
four.
small
So
three.
yeah, he is. But that's the last player that the Lambs have announced. They finally played an exhibition game. The Lambs, they've been together for a while now, training camps, tryouts. It's been probably about 6 months, and they played an exhibition game yesterday at Point Siena High School, which is going to be their home gym. I don't know if they're going to post it on their YouTube. Last time I checked it wasn't live. So hopefully they
Yeah, I
recorded
was
it because
trying
I
to
do want
find
to
it.
see that team. They played a team from
hey,
Texas. What happened?
hey, let us know. Let us know.
They played a team that traveled all the way from Texas, the AD Sentinels. Not entirely sure what the AD stands for. But unfortunately, despite the stacked roster that we perceived from the Lambs, they were not able to get it done. It was actually a loss, 114-90, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a team that has announced players from our area such as Trent Bryant, Romello Bates, Roberto Suarez, AJ Williams, Jackson Trapp, Keith Clanton, etc. The list goes on and on. We just talked about Jermaine Taylor, former NBA player. So that goes to show you the caliber of talent the TBL has. So I really hope they post that game because I really do want to watch it. Like I am very excited to see what that other team looked like and what they were good at. How organized this TBL basketball looked. That's what I'm most intrigued about. I want to see how organized this TBL basketball look. Does it look closer to NBA or no offense, I'm gonna say it, GM5. You know what I mean? Like what's it closest to? Like what is the coaching like? I'm really curious.
I'm looking at the Seminoles. I'm looking at the Seminoles roster right now. Floyd Jacob, I think their shooting guard, small forward is 6'4". Uh, the next player is 6'7". Roderick McCarthy. Their center 6'10". They got another guy at 6'8". They got another guy that's 6'4", 6'5". Like there's a
They
bunch
only
of
have one guy under 6'3", to give you an idea.
yeah, and
Only
then he's
one.
6 foot, and it's their point guard.
Yeah. So they got some height on them.
Like fucking huge, bro. That's a
Their
big.
name.
That's an NBA style team, though.
Hey, you
That's
know
a
what they
big
say?
NBA style
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Hey. No. Their name comes from a sports complex, by the way. They created the team from that sports complex.
Fire.
Man,
Yes.
see
These guys
that's
look
my
like some
dream.
legit like pros too.
Yeah, that's my dream, man. To have like an organization backing you like that, man. That is my hopes and dreams. That's what I want for the Serpents, man. I need to start researching, man. Who I need to get along with in Volusia County, man? Who has something big over there? Because
It's not going to be a brutality.
Oh well, that's not
yeah,
So
man,
yeah, man.
that's crazy. But shout out to them, man, for traveling all the way over here to Florida, man. I don't know whether they flew, whether they drove, but either way, it's a trip worth making because they came here, they dominated, and I don't know. I don't know how often the Lambs will have to play a team like that. I don't know if it's anything similar to the TBA. Typically, I'm sorry, not the TBA, the ABA. Typically in the ABA, I saw them traveling a little closer. You know what I mean, like Georgia, Alabama, maybe even the Carolinas, things of that nature. Texas is a couple states away. That's a bit of a further trip there. So I'm curious to see how far these teams have to travel in the TBL. But these players are getting paid to play on the Lambs, so it's all worth it. I don't know how they do it. I'm actually gonna find out. I'm very curious. We got invited to the Lambs. What do they call it? Gala, right? Gala. Yeah, for some free food, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm there. That's a guarantee. And it's gonna be Spanish food, I bet, because I'm pretty sure their church is gonna take care of it, and they always got that good Spanish food over there. So we got invited to that gala. We're gonna probably interview some players. And I'm gonna ask them exactly, how that works. You know what I mean? How do they travel? How do they organize that stuff? That's very interesting information that I want to find out. I don't know what's the last thing you guys heard, but I'll recap what we're talking about right now. I apologize. We're going to go through award races for the NBA. That's what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about the top 5 people with the best odds, from best to worst odds. I'm going to name them, and that's what we're going with. Right now, we're going through Coach of the Year. I apologize, y'all. I was on mute. My bad. J.B. Bickerstaff from the Pistons, Jordan Ott from the Suns, Joe Mazzulla from the Celtics, Mitch Johnson from the Spurs, and Charles Lee from the Hornets. That is best odds to worst odds right now based on FanDuel Sportsbook. I said I have Joe Mazzulla, and second place, J.B. Bickerstaff. Tyler's going next.
Let me just say one thing really quick. The Hornets are 10th seed. They're 26-31. I feel like it's kind of crazy to even put them up there. They gotta.
They are the 10th seed, but like you have to admit the recent spurt of winning. It's worth mentioning, I think.
I guess I'm torn between JB and Joe Mazzulla because realistically, the Celtics have lost a lot of their core. We talk about Jason Tatum a lot, and of course, Jason Tatum is an MVP caliber player. It's big to be missing him, but they're missing Al Horford. They're missing Drew Holiday. They're missing Kristaps Porzingis, and they are still performing very well. He turned Anthony Simons who most people did not really consider a valuable asset, into a valuable asset that actually was used on the Celtics to garner more wins, and then eventually trade him for good assets. So I'm kind of torn between Joe and JB has completely turned around a Pistons team, which we have been laughing about. 2 seasons ago, they went on the longest losing streak ever, and now they're the number one seed in the East. Actually, are they the number one seed in the NBA?
They are.
Almost.
They are.
They
No,
could
they are.
possibly. They are.
Yeah, they are.
Let me check when. Yep, they are. That's crazy. But also, I want to give some shout out to Jordan Ott because the Suns were not expected to even be in the playoffs right
Good.
now,
Even in
Bruh.
and they are
contention.
Listen,
far above positive.
let's go back. Check the tape. Check the tape. What did Nas say? Nas said, I like the Suns. They look interesting. I never said they were going to be a top seed or a championship contender. I said the Suns look interesting. I like what they have built. I like what they have put together. There was some. You know me. I value defense, and I believe defense can carry a team far. People laugh at him. People don't like him. He's the villain. Dylan Brooks is a phenomenal two-way player. He always
out for
has
the rest
been.
of the
He
year.
knocks down threes. He plays lockdown defense. Yeah, he hasn't had the most consistent career. He's had ups and downs, but that man's averaging 20 points per game right now. I never predicted that. I'm not saying that. I never predicted
I
that.
never predicted that.
Yeah,
No
I
one
didn't
did.
predict
No one
that.
predicted
But
him to be a great ISO scorer.
I want to
No one
get
did.
I want to get my credit, bro. Check the tape. I said it. People
got it.
laughed at me. People laughed at me. I said it.
I do want to say something though. It's gonna kind of bring down what you said, Nas. He broke his hand yesterday, and
Yeah,
he's
he
out
did. He did.
indefinitely.
Yeah, he did.
So
Yeah, but they only expect him to be out
change a
2 to
little
4
bit.
weeks.
No, it's longer than that. He broke. They said it was gonna be longer than that. They said indefinitely. I was watching Sports Center this morning. That's why I know that. Yeah.
But along with Dylan Brooks, like he is obviously I would say the bigger catalyst to the defensive ability
Yes.
that we see now. But Mark Williams was a great addition to them, and he
He
has been
was.
a lot healthier than anybody has expected.
That's what I was
The
saying.
Lakers are fucked up.
That's what I was saying. I like Mark
Also,
Williams.
Iguodala has also looked good. Ryan Dunn has looked really good. Did I say Grayson
Lipsy.
Allen?
Calling the Lipsy.
No, you haven't.
He's.
I'm only talking about defensively for now,
Oh,
but also
okay,
Grayson
I was
Allen.
about to say.
Like they have either added or provided additional roles for like some of their best defenders, and it has worked very, very well. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
you
agree.
do have to put him in the running. You have to put him in the top 3. I think that's only fair.
Yeah, I think he
What-
deserves consideration 100%. I think second best odds is a little higher than I would personally put him at. I think very fair. Oh, but then you have the Spurs coach too. Oh man, that's tough. It's a good race this year. It's a good race. I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. I said this was the least interesting award. I take it back now because these coaches, they're going head to head right now. This is good, bro.
We're not even talking about the Raptors coach either, and I do
Yeah.
think the Raptors coach also deserves some recognition.
The Raptors
Yeah,
coach
they're playing
is
pretty, they're playing
seventh
pretty
best
decent
odds.
basketball too. I want to throw out something though, because at the end of the day, I mean, I think the Suns coach is a good indicator of like head coach of the year because they did lose their best player, KD, in a trade this last summer. So it's like
Debatable.
Was he their best?
Yeah, very,
they're
very
I
debatable.
would say a big piece, a big image of what this team was left, and whatever was left over, he grabbed and put it together and made it into a really decent a playoff team, right? I can say the same thing for Joe Mazzulla, and that's why I think Joe Mazzulla deserves it. I mean, you lose Jason Tatum, you lose Porzingis, you add in for Sean Simmons, like you just said, and you said, and I said when I said I'm going to go trade for Anthony Simmons for the Magic, Tyler said no, they don't need that. He's not a good player, and it was a conversation a while ago. Not a good defender. Not a good defender. That's what you were saying.
Technically, he was right because
but after the day-
they did trade him. So
Yeah, they did trade him again, but he found use for him, and like Tyler said, he found value in his play style, and he was a contributor on that team, a major. Contributor.
I wouldn't
A
consider him a
contributor.
major contributor. You don't really trade major contributors.
Yeah,
You know?
16 points a game though in NBA, that's not easy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for Anthony
Yeah,
Simons.
16 points a game, it's not bad. But I think my whole point of this at all, you lose Jason Tatum, you lose the identity of the team. This is a brand new team, and on top of that, you have another MVP caliber player. You made Jalen Brown into an MVP caliber player with your coaching style and the way it's all set up. They don't have a legitimate big man. They just got one actually. I just know that. I forgot they got Vujicic. But prior to that, prior to trading for Vujicic, they did not have a legitimate big man uh, at all. So I just feel like it's got to be the Celtics. It's got to be coach. Like
Yeah, I
he
got the
literally
Celtics.
got. Yeah, I don't see anybody else like but him. He literally.
You got
No,
JB
he
right
there's
now.
it's a close race, but I have the Celtics. But it is a close race. It's not like
Yeah, I got Missoula.
he's
I
winning the
got
race
Missoula.
by a mile or nothing. But
Yeah,
I
this is
got
an
Missoula.
argument between number 1 seed and number 2 seed. Realistically, it's like
Yeah,
you can't go wrong either way.
yeah.
It's
But
unfortunate
I
that
just feel like
the
Detroit.
Thunder don't get credit just because of the fact that I think he won it last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they do deserve it, which sucks because they have been dealing with a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
Again,
yes.
that team is
They made a
notoriously
very
always
good
injured.
trade though. They made a very good trade this year. That Jared trade's a really good trade, I think.
No,
Off the
they
bench,
didn't
I'm
make a
not
good trade.
expecting.
The 76ers made a bad trade. Any team, anybody would have traded for Jared McCain for what they
For a
traded for.
second
Wasn't it like
round.
2 second-round picks?
Yes. They got their bench player now, the future who can come off the bench and give them bucks now. That's what they were missing
If
before.
Jared McCain stays the type of player he is now, that's still a bad trade. If he
Yeah.
develops, if his ceiling is any higher than what he is currently, if he's able to come back from injury and look even better, it's an even better trade.
He
Jerry
But
just
at minimum,
McCabe,
it's one of the
2027,
best trades.
six man of the year.
he
Jerry
just
McCabe, 2027, six man of the year. I'm
he just
calling it
led
now.
them in scoring the other day.
Against the Nets, to be fair.
But he led them in scoring. That's all that matters. I'm just saying.
And I don't think Shea was even playing. It was
Chase injured. Chase injured for a while. He's
yeah.
got a abdominal injury he's been dealing with. So that's why they made the
Led them in
trade for
scoring.
him.
I stated a fact. That's all I'm saying. I stated a fact. That's it.
I think
All
he's
right.
gonna have a good game today. I think he's gonna have a good game against Cleveland in the end. I really do.
Cleveland's been
Oh
doing
wait,
good too.
also Cleveland has turned it around. James
Yeah, they
Harden,
have. Yeah, they have.
man, listen, I'm not gonna lie.
They look good.
Maybe we were wrong about James Harden in the sense where we were saying on the Clippers, he's getting kind of old and he was regressing a lot.
Yeah.
James Harden's
Nah.
looking fantastic.
He wasn't
I
putting
think he
wasn't
was-
putting up regressing numbers though. That's the thing. Like he was looking
Yeah.
really good. He was averaging 25.
Yeah, we were just hating.
Yeah. But I mean, I still think in the playoffs it's going to be a struggle. I just don't have faith in James Harden to produce what he's supposed to produce in the playoffs.
Me too.
But
Me too.
I think Donovan Mitchell, for the most part, has always been a pretty good playoff riser. And I think James Harden not needing to feel like he has to carry a load will be very important for them. So I'm curious to see how it works. I was under the impression that it would work pretty well in the regular season because I do believe James Harden brings more to the table than Darius Garland does. Because I believe the addition of James Harden was instantly going to make Jared Allen better. And that is exactly what happened. It instantly made Jared Allen back into his all-star form from a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest impact that he brings to the table is not only being a threat himself, it's now creating a situation where Jared Allen has now inserted himself as a new threat to have to deal with as well.
I want to say
That's
something
having
on
a
that
knock
too.
on Garland. Wait, let me say
Yeah.
one thing. That's having a knock on Garland. Kenny specifically would run really weird rotations where Garland and Allen were not really on the court as much as you would expect. It was mainly Garland and it was Mobley, and then it was the Donovan Mitchell and the Allen pairing. For whatever reason, I don't know what happened, but Kenny has finally learned that having Allen a lob threat on the court with somebody who could pass is a good idea. I'm happy. With man.
Yeah, I was debating with one of my friends at work. He's like the Cavs. I was like the Cavs look faster, but then I had to think about it because he's like, oh, how are they faster with an older player? And I don't think that they're faster. I just think the decision making on the court is a lot quicker and is a lot more precise. So therefore, they look faster than what they really are. Because I don't think James Harden has still got that speed in Houston. But I do think that his mind and where the ball has to go and placing the ball in the certain spots is a lot. And no knock to Darius Garland because I think he's a good passer as well. But he's just a legend level passer at this point. He's one of those Steve Nash, LeBron James kind of guys at this point to
Bro,
me, where I
10,
just
10,
Did
10
James Harden
times
ever
out of
have that
10.
speed though? To be fair,
Yeah.
Huh? What'd you
I
say?
Huh?
don't think James Harden. I don't think James Harden ever really had that speed. To be fair,
No, he didn't. He was
Uh,
always a pretty slow player. But
he had a very good
he
first
just
step.
was.
Y'all tripping. James Harden's first
Yeah,
step was
I agree
probably
with that.
one of the best in the NBA for like a couple
yeah, his
years, for
his
like
first
4 or
step
5
was
Yeah,
years.
quick,
I
and
agree with
then
that.
his second, third, fourth, and fifth was pretty slow. So,
He didn't need it. Step back.
but either way, I mean,
He
I
didn't
lost
need
my train of
it.
thought. Oh yeah, 10 times out of 10, quick decision making is gonna always be more valuable than quick foot movement. It's always going to be
Yeah,
more valuable because you want the ball to move faster than you want the player to move,
but
and that's always what's gonna work better. So I think that's what's helping the Cavaliers right now.
yeah,
Again, everything we're saying sounds like we're trying to bash Darius Garland. It's just maybe his play style just wasn't what the Cavs needed at the time. You know what I
it
mean?
reminds me of the Pacers last year. Honestly, it like with Tyrese. Tyrese isn't the. I mean, he's
Yeah.
fast, but he's not the fastest guy. But he's a quick decision maker, and it made the Pacers look faster than what they really were. I mean, you got Miles Turner on the floor. You're not that fast, but just the decisions being made, the quick shots, the quick, like 7 seconds in the shot clock, getting the shot up. It's just going to look good. It's going to give them more chances to score the ball. And I'm not expecting the Cavs to lock anybody down, but I think they can have those games that the Pacers had where we're just going to have to beat you on offense. We're just going to have to outscore you every game, and I think it fits the James Harden identity.
I mean, they are a good defensive team.
Perfect. They're going to be a good second round team when they get eliminated.
All right,
But
but
like
we
the
digress,
Pacers, if
though.
everybody gets hurt in the playoffs again, they
We
might make it to the finals.
we digress. This is why we cut NBA content off of the podcast. This is this reason right here. James Harden was mentioned, and all of a sudden we're in a whole different conversation. Moving on to our next award, though, top 5 odds for Sixth Man of the Year. Uh, Once again, from top to bottom, is going to be Nas Reed, Keldon Johnson, Jaime Jaquez, Ayo Dosomu, and AJ Mitchell. Um, I mean,
Dang,
I think everyone in this list this definitely deserves recognition and definitely deserves some sort of points and votes here and there. But I think Nas Reed is pretty decisively there, Sixth Man of the Year.
I would put
Yeah,
Io up there, but Io just got traded to the Timberwolves, so
Yeah,
I think that's kind of out the water now.
yeah, and like Keldon
yeah,
Johnson playing great, but like, you know, I think we could agree with
He got
Nas,
traded
right?
to the Heat, right?
Keldon Johnson's still on the Spurs.
yeah, he is. Yeah, Keldon. You're thinking about the dude who just got cut from the Spurs, who's on the Knicks now. I forgot his name. Jeremy Shohan.
No, they had they had a K Johnson on their team. That's what I was thinking of. I know Sohan though. They gave
Oh,
up
okay,
because
okay.
of injuries.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think a John
I,
Mitchell should be up there too. I think he started the season pretty well. He
Who?
was he was a Jai Mitchell.
AJ.
AJ?
AJ Mitchell, my bad. I mispronounced his name, but yeah, he started the season pretty well. But I think it's Nas all the way too. I'm not really
Yeah, AJ
I
debating
think
that.
Nas is
Mitchell.
just picking him because of his name.
Yeah,
No, AJ Mitchell's pretty good too. I think his production is a little on the lower side compared to other players,
yeah,
which is a factor. I think Nas Reed is
yeah,
just pretty fair choice there personally.
yeah.
I think he
Another
should be
like
started.
little bonus one I want to throw in there. Tim Hardaway for the Nuggets. He's been pretty fantastic as a shooter coming off the bench, as a guy that Djokovic can find and Murray can find to shoot the ball. I think he's doing pretty good for them as well.
He's got the
Because they're
seventh.
the number one offense in the NBA right now. The Nuggets are.
He's got the seventh best odds to win.
Yeah.
So he's a little lower on the list, but he's on the list. That means something for sure. Um, and I mean, oh no, this was a different list, but yeah, I think Nas Reed. Did you think something different, Tyler? I feel like you were about to say somebody different.
I said Io, but that's obviously out the window now because he's on the same team.
Wait, what?
He was doing really good. I don't like my Sixth Man of the Year always depends on team as well. I view Sixth Man as like the MVP off the bench, and I just don't think
Yeah.
a team that's not really winning deserves to get that award for a player. And that's my perspective. So I wouldn't pick Io, although I believe he's playing great and I believe he's been a good sixth man. I just don't think it's actually meant much for the Bulls. Now he's on the Wolves, so it don't matter as much. But I don't think it meant as much as a player like Nas or a player like Keldon, whose teams are using their production to succeed as much as they can. At least the Wolves. They're up and down, but they're succeeding.
I'm not gonna lie
They're
though.
there.
I'm gonna say something. If you're averaging 16 points and we have only won 20 points, 20 games this year, I did that as a coach. I should have started you. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I
You
think
should
the
have been the
Bulls
sixth
have
man
some
of the
interest in
year.
losing.
What
Bulls have
happened?
a lot of interest in losing right now.
That's what
Yeah,
they
they
traded
do.
him.
And they're deep at guard. They were so deep at guard.
He was giving them way too many wins.
You said they
Yeah,
were?
they were deep at guard in the beginning of the
Bro,
year.
they traded for nothing but guards. They're the deepest
they
guard
just
team in the
replaced
league right now.
guards.
They added
Yeah, I know
3
that,
guards.
but they were deep prior to that too.
They added, what was it?
They were
had-
deep. They still are, but they also were.
Yeah, they are
Yeah,
deeper.
like,
they are
both can't be
deeper.
true. Both can't be true.
Yeah, they're deeper than ever.
I
They
used to
traded.
do math. I still do, but I also used to.
That's the team that traded for Anthony Simons. That's where he is right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're deeper than ever. They have so many guards. They have Colin Sexton. But moving on to the next one, though, we got most improved player. Top 5 odds are going to be Denny Avdia. I never know how to pronounce his name. I apologize.
Yeah, he's definitely the one though.
Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Keontae George, and Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren kind of slowed down a little bit. He definitely was up there for me, but he did kind of start averaging out a little bit recently.
Yeah.
Still playing great, but there was a spurt there where he was doing
He was
crazy.
a monster. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But Denny, yeah, definitely Denny. Jalen is a really good choice here too. I don't know why. I just want to lean towards Denny. I don't know what it is, but Jalen is a really good choice. Jalen is definitely.
He was an all-star
Was
last year.
Keontae
Jalen was
George
an
on
all-star last year.
Say that again.
Go ahead.
Was Keontae George on there?
Yeah, he's 4th.
Yeah, I was about to say something about him. He was in the beginning of the year this year. He was busting ass in the beginning of the year this year. He slowed down, just like Utah did in general. They all slowed down, but he was busting ass in the beginning of the year. But
I don't
Jalen
think
Johnson,
Utah ever sped up.
they started the season off all right. They were
I don't think
over
so.
500 for a little bit. I
I
think so.
don't know.
They-
I don't think so.
They always start off the first 2 games letting their players play, and then once they see that they start winning, they kind of dial it back a little bit. They're going for it. It's Danny age.
He's like,
This
oh,
is a
wait a
tough
minute,
one. I'm not
we're
gonna
winning
lie.
too much.
People, we kind of gloss over this. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but
Well,
his
he has played
situation-
a lot better.
his situation is more him going to a whole new team and getting a whole new opportunity. And to me,
And role,
most
yeah.
improved is your year over year without like any significant changes. Like he is in a whole new role. He's starting every single game now. He's a 6-man last year. Like that is very different. He's taking double the shots that he was taking last season.
Nikhil? You're still talking about Nikhil?
Yeah, that's a lot.
For
me,
you know what? That's crazy. I could agree with you on that because he is their starting point guard, right? He's their starting point guard now, their shooting guard.
shooting guard. Well, I mean, he's been playing a
Technically,
lot of point guards.
technically he's a point guard, but it's like a
So
situation.
they combo guard. So they combo guard with him and Dyson Daniels. That's a really good backcourt defensively. Holy shit, that's not a
For
bad.
me, though, this
Yeah.
this is a hot take. I like Jalen Johnson. I like what he's done. I like Denny as well, and he's more my pick. But Keontae George does
been
deserve a lot of
hooping.
recognition for what he did, bro.
He's been
Keontae
hooping.
George went from a 17-point player to a 24.
22.
His assists are up. This is the first time in his life in the NBA where he shot efficiently as well. Like his overall role has not really changed. He has just kind of improved massively as a player.
Well-
Denny was traded to Portland for the first time last season. You know, he kind of found his footing this season a lot more.
I thought
I'm
Denny
gonna go Keontae.
was decent on the Wizards too. I thought he was a pretty serviceable player on the
No, the
Wizards.
hell
but
he
he's-
wasn't.
I thought he was.
I'm a
I mean,
Wizards
I was-
fan.
I'm
You
not
are
saying I
lying.
was seeing the glimmers, like the flashes of what he could be. Like he had flashes of what he
We
could
were all
be.
wearing sunglasses though. We didn't see nothing.
He kinda, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna a crazy comp, but he kind of reminds me of Hito Turkoglu, like his play style a little bit, just a
So
little
you
bit.
watched him?
Yeah, bro, he likes to get to the hole. He likes to get fouled. He's at that free throw line. But he
Yeah, that's
kinda
not
reminds
He
me of
was
Turkoglu.
doing the what?
That's not the player I compare Hito Turkoglu to at all.
Y'all trippy. Y'all gotta go watch some Hito. Y'all gotta go watch the Hito and Turkoglu highlights.
You're speaking to the
It's
Dwight
like-
Howard stan, who was an Orlando
this man
Magic
is-
fan through those years. I watched every game they had to offer.
He's a
It's
Dwight
Hito
Howard
Turkoglu is
Tree
not the
Badger.
comparison.
The hell? Also,
Oh, no.
he's
He
averaging
reminds me,
7 assists.
that's all I'll say. Maybe it's the slow, methodical way he plays the
No,
game. Maybe
Hito-
that's just what it is.
Hito was a really good playmaker, though. That is a fact.
But not a
He just-
7 assist type of guy, though. That is a lot. That is
Yeah,
a
no, he
lot.
wasn't. He was like a 5 to 4 kind of guy. He was a mid post scorer. Take it back. Yeah, I got you. I'll take it back. I'll take it back.
What?
My bad.
That man,
I
Denny's-
guess I see flashes of Hito.
That
I
man-
just think more so like how slow and methodical, but he can still get to his spots. He can kind of still do what he wants on the court. But that's
He's
European.
fast.
Yeah, it's European
You
basketball.
only said Hito because they look like they're from the same region. That's why you said they look like they're from they both Europeans. So I was like, yeah, Hito Turkoglu, first European that comes to mind.
Nah,
He plays just like Manu Ginobili.
Kristaps
he's
Porzingis and
European,
Jokic,
bro.
similar players. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Identical. But yeah, I like Keontae George. I don't think that's a bad take at all. I like Keontae. I like Jalen. And I like Denny. I think all three of them deserve it. I think to go back to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, though, I think he does definitely deserve a lot of credit, regardless of the fact that his role and opportunity changed. You have to also consider the fact that this man's been averaging below 10 points per game the last 2 seasons, and his career high is only 11. So, like, regardless, we have definitely seen players throughout NBA history get provided a better role and fumble the bag. So, like, actually given the role is cool, but you got to do something with it, and he has.
Yep.
So, like, he deserves the credit for actually going out there. He's taking more shots, but he's knocking them down. He could have easily not done that. You know what I mean? We look at the Celtics we talked about earlier in the season. Before they went on this huge winning streak, we were talking about how Derek White was given a bigger role because of Jason Tatum being gone, and he was shit in the bag. You get what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't knocking down his shots. He wasn't averaging anything bigger than he was before. He went from like 16 to 18 points per game. Whoop the fucking do. You know what I mean? When in a world where Jason Tatum's gone, you know, we want you to put up at least 21. You know what I mean? Like, at least we think you're capable. I think he's
22 to
capable.
be real with you.
Huh?
22 to 23 to be real with you.
I think he's capable, but he didn't do that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I'm using him as an example to say, like, you know, a bigger role shouldn't disqualify somebody from being most improved, because he has to do something with that role. And players in the past don't
He
always do
did.
that.
Yeah, he did
It
something
does
too.
disqualify, but it provides context. And when the other people are just straight improving in the role that they already had, I value that a little bit more. I'm not saying that Nickeil Alexander-Walker does not deserve to be in the running, though. He's one of my favorite players. That's
I
one of my
agree.
favorite
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
Yeah.
Next award we got on our hands, though, I think we don't got to worry about top 5 best odds. A lot of rookies are showing great stuff, and if you want to show some love to a rookie that you feel like is doing good, feel free to do so. But the race is obvious. There's 2 players that are in the Rookie of the Year race, and coincidentally, they come from the same place. So we got Con Knipple, and we got Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, indeed.
That is-
College
I forgot
roommates.
about Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that they were in college together.
College roommates, ladies and gentlemen. Freshmen at Duke balling out together. They are the number 1 and number 2 best odds for Rookie of the Year. We have Cooper Flag at a -500, Con Knipple at a +340, which is by FanDuel Sportsbook. I am going to go against the grain here. And although I believe Cooper Flag has demonstrated to be an overall better player, he provides more. He does more on the floor. I believe the biggest difference maker for the Hornets and their ability to succeed has been the impact of a consistently efficient knockdown shooter, Con Knipple. I think he is at a Klay Thompson-esque level of shooting, where he's not really great at creating his own shot, but man, he is phenomenal at finding open shots, and all game long, no matter if it's the first, second, third, or fourth quarter, the motherfucker just gets open, and even when he's not,
And he's a tough
he's
shot
just
maker.
shooting it. He's just making it. I think Con Knipple is the biggest game changer for the Hornets, although other players have been doing better. I think even Melo deserves some credit for starting to show some more maturity in his game. He's not all the way there yet, but he's getting there. He's showing some glimpses. I think it's Con Knipple, and because of that, I do think Con deserves Rookie of the Year because of being the game changer that the Hornets needed.
Yeah.
Khan has looked great defensively as well. Go ahead, please.
Oh yeah, my take is it's you got to understand where I come from with basketball. I came from this dude from Cleveland, in 2003, one of the worst franchises. So when I look at Cooper Cup's situation, it is giving like the making.
Cooper Cup is an
Cup.
NFL
Yeah.
player.
We're not talking about football.
Football. My bad. Cooper Flag. When I look at Cooper Flag's situation, it has the making of all the genetics of what the greats went through, while still playing pretty decent basketball at a young age. And on top of that, being the new position in general, like playing the point guard position. I got to give it a Coop. He's expectations, right, are really big in the NBA. I think what you're saying about Colin Toronto is dope. I think we all knew he was going to come in being a shooter. I didn't know he was going to be such a great shooter he is now. But I think the tools that Cooper has shown us, the ability to be, he could probably be like a Kawhi type player, like eventually, like literally, like probably the best defensive player and best offensive player on the floor at times. So the ceiling for him is crazy, and the race is crazy because I think it's a lot harder for him than it is for Colin Knuckle. I think Colin Knuckle has pieces that make it a little easier. You have more players that can kind of score the ball. You got Miles Bridges. You have dang, I forgot the shooting guard's name. He played for Alabama.
We used to call him all the time.
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, my bad. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball. You have a lot of pieces that can really, you could get lost in that, but he still finds his way to kind of score and do his thing. But Cooper has no one to get lost in. Kyrie's hurt. AD they never could have figured it out. It's just him and a bunch of wings and Hardy, pretty much. And I just got to shout that out. I think the level of difficulty for him and to still be able to produce is a lot higher than it would be for.
I want to challenge
that.
I want to challenge that opinion. You're saying the level of difficulty is more for Cooper Flag because he has less? That's what you're saying? I don't see how that would make sense. Wouldn't consistently scoring and being efficient be harder for the player who has more scoring options on his team? He has more players he has to share the ball with. He has more players he has to give the ball to. Not to mention he has more chuckers on his team. Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball aren't going to escape. Yeah, Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball are not going to escape the chucker.
I think LaMelo's changed his game this year, though, to not be
LaMelo Ball is a chucker. Will always be a chucker. He's shooting 1 foot threes. He's a chucker. That can't change. We can't take that away from him. He's playing better.
No, wait, before we go forward, let me tell you, his field goal percentage is 39%.
Who?
LaMelo. 39%.
Exactly. Yeah. When I said LaMelo Ball,
just free, like in general.
No, when I said LaMelo Ball's game is maturing, I meant he's playing at a slower pace. He is more willing to create opportunities that he wasn't willing to create before. A lot of times when he drives to the basket, he likes to take that high floater that was just not going in, whereas now he's more willing to create that extra pass. High IQ players like Con Knipple are creating an environment where now those people are making extra passes, are driving and kicking, all that good stuff. That's what I meant. At the end of the day, LaMelo Ball is still a chucker. He's a chucker. It doesn't matter how you put it. Brandon Miller, chucker extraordinaire. He loves to just shoot that ball. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the point of saying that, or not the point. Let me take that back. I don't see the logic behind saying that Cooper Flag is
the game isn't. I got you. The game isn't. They're not going into that game saying we need to stop Colin Knuckle. They're going into that game saying, what are we going to do to put LaMelo at bay? What are we going to do to put Miles Bridges at bay? I mean, now, towards this end of the season, but throughout it, he was a roughing the diamond. And even for the Hornets, like him picking up, him playing the ball he is amazing. No one expected this. But I just feel like when you have all these players that people are going to game plan just for a little bit more, and I think they all know they have a legit shooter now, like a legit 3-point scorer. I think you kind of defer to that. Even you see LaMelo defer to that. A lot of players are deferring to that because he might be better than them. He spaces the floor for them to be able to get to the hole, to be able to drive the ball, and to be able to chuck the ball. They need space. So I just, like I said, I just feel like teams weren't planning for him as much as they were planning for Cooper Cup and Flag, Cooper Flag. People weren't, and I just think it's a difference.
I don't think that they were planning for Cooper as much as you say. The reality is, no matter how good Cooper is, he's still sort of inefficient, and he's a rookie. He's coming into his game and he's learning. He has a bad turnover rate. We could recognize that.
Yeah,
He's
for
not
sure,
a
for
3-point
sure.
shooter like Khan is, and defensively he's strong there, but he's still undersized for his position. Like, he does get attacked. We do see that from the bigger wings. Like, I just don't think that people were really game planning as strongly for the Mavericks, because the general consensus is the Mavericks are tanking this year.
And they suck.
Of course.
The
They're
Hornets are
going to
trying.
lose the
The
game.
Hornets want to win.
This reminds me of a conversation from the Gilbert Arenas podcast where Nick Young made an interesting comment. And he said that teams were not going into Sacramento games game planning against DeMarcus Cousins. Why? Because who gives a fuck?
That was
The
a
Kings
shot. That
the
was a
Kings were
shot.
not good. The Kings were not good. The Kings could not win games. It didn't matter if DeMarcus Cousins was going out there shining like the best center in the NBA, because go ahead, big fella, do it. Go ahead, go out there and give us 30 and 15 and 12. Go ahead. Feel free to do so. The rest of your team is going to give you nothing, and we're going to blow you out by 30.
Exposed.
You know what I mean? So you go ahead, big fella. Go ahead and post our center up. Go ahead and post up Kevon Looney. Go ahead and post up Andrew Bogut, whoever you want to post up. Go ahead and score on them. Go for 40. Go for 50, boy. Shoot as many shots as you want. Pass it to whoever you want. You know how many passes you have to make to finally get an assist, DeMarcus? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thought process. So No, I'm just using him. I want to use that as my example towards Cooper. It's the same concept. The Maverick. I do have a lot of beef against DeMarcus. Tyler knows. But either way,
Yeah.
yeah, I hate that man. But either way, let's move on to Cooper Flag. I love Cooper Flag. He is my favorite rookie and a player who I'm going to follow throughout his entire career for specific reasons. But at the end of the day, his job is much easier than Khan's. That's the point that I'm trying to make, which is why I believe Khan deserves the more credit for being that level of impact. I don't know who else the Hornets have added. I don't know who else has stepped up. If you guys know, feel free to tell me. My point of view is that Khan is the piece that has allowed them to change to the next level, because he creates an area of effectiveness that they just didn't have before. And now he is an outlet that's available to not only give Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball an opening to be more free and have an escape route, but now when teams are overplaying him, another player can also become that open opportunity with those extra passes, with those pump fakes and drives to a kick, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's why the Hornets look better. The Hornets aren't great. We all know that. They're still a losing team, but they look better. They're showing sparks, and I think it's because of Con Knipple. Everybody else is playing better too. I'm not saying Con Knipple is MVP of the league. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think it's easier for Cooper Flag to go out there shooting 16 shots per game to play the caliber of basketball he's playing. And at the end of the day, he's shooting 16 shots per game while Con Knipple is shooting 13.
Damn.
And they're averaging the same amount. So,
Dang.
Khan is
He's
just a
getting a
lot
lot of
more
shots, though.
efficient. Khan
He's
is
getting a lot of shots, though.
ridiculously efficient. Khan is shooting 49% from the field, 43% from three, and the rest of their numbers are so similar. Even defensively, they look similar. Khan just slotted right into the 3-and-D role that team was really looking for, but he could score in other ways. He could
But
score
the
in
thing
a
is,
lot of
and his shots are a lot easier. That's the key point. His shots
They're not.
are a lot easier.
they're not. He's shooting
Hold on, hold on.
threes.
What I'm saying, his shots are a lot easier. I'm saying he doesn't have the defensive magnification that Cooper Flag has on him on a day-to-day. Now he does, because we're aware of who he is and what he can do. But in the beginning, I can't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I can't.
No. Wait a minute. I don't know what you're about to say, but that's wrong, sir. When the season started, Cooper Flag was looking trash and like a bust.
He was.
Who was
was.
not looking like a bust was Con Knipple. in the beginning, Concanipple has been on fire since the first game he played in the NBA. He has not slowed down. Cooper Flag picked it up and caught up to Concanipple. Concanipple was favored for Rookie of the Year for at least the first fourth of the season. So like it's not about before and now. Cooper Flag doesn't have to take difficult shots. It's a choice. It's a choice if he wants to fade away every time. It's a choice if he wants to drive.
It's not a choice. He has to go out and score the ball. No one else can. And I'm not saying that he's like some veteran NBA player that has to do this, but he's in a position where it's either I grow or I get worse. And I don't think Collins in the same position as him. I don't.
Cooper
I think
Flag is
he's in a way
practicing
more.
out there. That's how I view it. Cooper Flag is
Huh?
practicing. He's
I
practicing.
just feel like Collins in a more comfortable position than Cooper Flag is right now at the moment. It's a rebuild in Dallas.
A three
It's
ball
a
will
rebuild
never
in
be an
Dallas.
easier shot than a two.
The expectations for both the teams before the season started was they were both going to be in the lottery next season. In the offseason, everybody thought that the Hornets were going to be right back in the same spot that they were last season, and the Mavericks were going to be tanking as well. Everybody thought that. The Hornets are performing a lot. They're not performing well. They're performing a lot
No, they're
better
way better
than we
though. They're
expected.
way better.
They are performing a
I'm not
lot
gonna
better
fight
than we
that.
expected. And
Yeah,
when you look
for
at the
sure.
changes that they made, LaMelo's shooting worse, so there's no change there. Brandon Miller's performing the exact way he performed last season. Miles Bridges is performing very similar. Trey Mann is like a fucking... Who's Trey Mann, realistically?
Yeah, bro. They didn't bring his overall down.
They lost Mark Williams, so they lost their starting center. The primary changes that they made was adding a 3-and-D player who averaged similar rebounding numbers and similar assist numbers to Cooper Flag, and just shoots a lot more efficiently while shooting less.
East-West. I'm just saying East-West. The
I mean,
comfortability
they're
right now.
top two. They're top two. Neither one of them are really like a bad pick.
Yeah,
If someone told me
I
you're going
just feel
Cooper,
like-
I'm like, all right, you're going Cooper. If someone told me you're going Khan, all right, you're going Khan. As long as you're not going VJ or somebody else.
Yeah. Straight. Hey, he had one of the best startings for a rookie I've seen ever, though. One of the best first games.
Oh no,
ever,
he's
though.
still having a great season. VJ's still
Yeah.
great. It's just
Yeah.
he's out of the room.
These guys are just in a different realm right now. These two guys. I will agree
They
with you
ran
guys.
off with it. And VJ's a close third, I would say. There's another guy too. I forgot his name. Ram Somnick or something. He should be.
I'm not too well versed.
All right.
All right.
What about defensive player of the year?
Oh, my
What do you
bad.
guys
Got distracted. I'm back. Yeah, defensive player of the year. Let's see. We got Vic with bananas.
Let's end this.
Chet
Let's end
Holmgren.
this right now. Let's end
Yeah,
this.
let's Victor. All right, next one.
Once you said
How
Vic,
about we
I
get
forgot,
this
I
shit?
forgot Vic.
Oh.
It's Vic.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Vic. It's
All
Vic.
right.
How about this?
Victor.
Vic for the next 10 years. All right, we're
Let's
good.
let's move on to MVP. Victor with bananas, ladies and gentlemen, takes home defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
All right, so MVP is going to be an interesting race. I think the person. So I'm going to actually name 6 players because I don't believe the person who is 6 deserves to be this low on the list. But then when you hear the other names, I guess it kind of makes sense. But let's get
Also,
to it.
you look at his stats.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Kate Cunningham, Victor with bananas once again, Luka Doncic, and Jaylen Brown. Hot take. I want to start here. Hot take. First and foremost, fuck the Celtics. But Jaylen Brown,
Yes, me too.
I
I'm with you.
understand statistically he doesn't look as phenomenal as some of these other guys, right? You know, you got a Shea, you got a Jokic, and you got a Luka, you got a Vic. It's very difficult to compete statistically with a group of names like that. They do a lot statistically, but we talked about the shortcomings of the Celtics. You know, we're talking about losing their best player. We're talking about losing some of the catalysts that helped them win a championship, right? With Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Al Horford. They lost so much, and they're the 2nd seed in the East right now. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, they are the 3rd or 4th best record in the NBA. I forget which one, right? That's big time. I mean, I don't know who you want to give the credit to. You want to give it to Coach of the Year? Do you want to give it to MVP, man? That's big time to me. I know Jaylen Brown doesn't look as phenomenal as these other guys do on paper, but, like, come on. he's the best
The
player.
writing's on the wall,
He's
man.
the best player
That's
on a
all it
team.
is.
Yeah, he's the best player on a team that is not supposed to be this good. I do genuinely
Yeah,
believe that they're not supposed to be this good. We said Derek White started the season off a little rough. I don't know if he picked it up since then, but I know he started pretty bad. He hasn't. Yeah, Pritchard, I believe, also started even worse. Uh, you know what I mean? Like who over there is helping them win games? I don't know who over there is helping them win games. It's just Missoula and Jalen Brown. They're carrying this
yeah,
team on their backs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's Joe Missoula's schemes and system and overall coaching ability, and Jalen Brown's unique ability to go out there and just be a star every single day. So I respect Jokic. I respect Shea. I really want to give it to Cade a lot too, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's Jalen, bro. It's to me, it's between Jalen and Cade. I genuinely believe that. Luca's
I,
great. You know what I mean?
I think it's three though. I think it's three. I think we
Oh,
gotta
and
throw
Shea.
Victor in there as well. I think
We got to
Victor's
give
not
it
a
to
bad player to throw in there.
the number 2 point guard in the NBA, Shea.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
forget that.
Well, he's gonna be ineligible probably, so it doesn't even really matter about him. And
He's still eligible.
Nikolai Djokovic is gonna be ineligible for sure. I
He's
think
still.
he's already ineligible.
They're both eligible as it stands right now.
Yeah, they both have it. Shea is far off of being
Yeah,
eligible.
Shea just started missing games not that long ago. So did Jokic.
Well, I think Shea might be ineligible though, but regardless, it doesn't
He's
really
not.
change
He's
how I
eligible.
He
feel.
only has
I
to play
looked it up.
16
He's
more
eligible.
games for the rest of the season.
Okay.
16
Yeah.
more.
Please don't be thinking I'm
So
giving him my opinions. I'm like, bro, I have it right in front of me. He's eligible.
But my MVP lab is a little different. I'd have Jalen Brown. It's so funny because I came to the consensus maybe like I was listening to. I'm a big Colin Coward person. I love Colin Coward, and I'm also a big Nick Wright person. Yeah, yeah, I do. What?
What?
Yikes.
Colin
Go on.
Coward and Nick, right? What?
Yeah, those are my
Yikes.
guys.
I get it now.
Um,
I get it. Tyler. It all makes sense, bro. It all makes sense.
Yikes.
Full circle moment, bro.
hey, and they're
Life,
pretty good
life
sports
makes sense.
analysts, bro. You're
They are
tripping.
some of the
Colin
worst.
Coward's a legend, bro.
They are
You also
some of
listen
the
to
Coward's a
worst.
legend.
Chris Bouchard?
No.
You're a damn
But I
liar.
love him. I love when he says, I came
God.
in your house, I grabbed a pop, and gave myself a sandwich. Anyways,
Oh, this.
my
This
ladder
guy.
goes Jalen Brown, it goes Cade, and it goes Victor. I think Victor's low key under the radar. I think Victor's stats are crazy. I think what the run he's been going on, dropped 50 with 24 minutes playing. His is more recent than the others. I think the others have been all season. I think Victor's recent, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Recent events of what he's done has been pretty astonishing. He did a windmill through the lane on a half court, down a fast break on somebody. Like he's been playing some good. I mean, San Antonio's ahead of their schedule right now because of Victor. They have a lot of young guards, and they're way ahead of schedule. I don't know what seed they are, but I'm pretty sure they're a top 5 seed. I'm more than sure they're a top 5 seed. Um, but also, I gotta show love to Cade. Cade's got a lot of that early 2000s basketball on him, and I love that about him. And when I say that, I'm saying he can go ISO and beat a team by himself. And we don't really. I mean, you got players that can do that, but it's mostly off like actions and things like that. It's not really like him with the ball creating. Like even Steph Curry, I mean, he can dribble the ball and things, but Steph Curry was set up off actions. A lot of Steph Curry's plays are set up off actions. It's not really like LeBron or those old school players that can just kind of dribble the ball, I think Andy would say. And I like to watch Cade. When I watch Cade play basketball, I just see 2000s basketball, like all over it. And then, I mean, Jalen speaks for himself, bro. He posted it. They were 39 and something last year with Jason Tatum. This year, they're 36 and something. They're 3 games back from what they were with the best player and possibly we were saying, all of us were saying, hands down, the NBA championship. Like we weren't even disagreeing. We were all saying Boston Celtics have it at one point. I think Tyler was kind of on Oklahoma, and he was saying Oklahoma has the possibilities. But once that Jason Tatum injury happened, the Knicks took over. We all kind of left it. But prior to this, this was the best team in the NBA by far, like pound for pound. And now it's not pound for pound the best team in the NBA, but they're still winning like they are. So I got to give it to him. And he's averaging 29 points a game.
This is a hot take. Forget about the stats. Forget about all the numbers. Forget about any of that. Because they're all similar. They're all averaging some ridiculous numbers. I think we could say that. Take the player that we are discussing off of that team, and where do you realistically think that they rank in the standings? I genuinely do believe if you take Cade off of the Pistons right now, they are the worst team in the NBA.
Wouldn't you say the same about the Celtics, though?
I could say the same things about the Spurs,
I don't think that they're the worst team in the NBA because I still do think that Derek White, as a primary ball handler, will look a little bit better. I still think that Peyton Pritchard is a great addition. I think Keita is a great addition to that team. I think that they still have some people that work that'll put them 13, 12, 11 in that range. I think the Pistons will go back to the worst losing streak in the NBA without Cade.
Yeah. But you can say the same thing about the Spurs.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
I don't think so. I think the Spurs have a great. They have De'Aaron Fox. They have a great supporting cast.
The
they're
Spurs,
11th seed.
The Spurs could be a playing team without Wemby. Like a 10th
All
seed.
These teams, besides maybe the Celtics, I'll also give it to the Celtics. I think would be a playing team without a doubt. I think the Nuggets would be a playing team, possibly a 10th seed. I think the Thunder would be around 9th seed. I think even the Lakers without Luka. I mean, we've seen Anthony
LeBron can do
playing too much for the last couple of years. He's been dead for the most part. I think all those teams would be around the play-in or maybe shortly off of it. I think the Pistons would be the worst team in the NBA.
I like Cade. That would be my other one to make an argument
That'd
for.
That'd be a dope story, though. For sure, Cade winning.
I don't know why Jalen is so low on this list. I think he's getting disrespected, but I like Cade. I think Cade is low on this list as well. I think at the end of the day, Cade, low key, should be at least second or first odds in my opinion. Because like we talked about it multiple times already. I mean, you talk about a team that was the worst team in the NBA 2 years ago with the worst losing streak in NBA history, and all of a sudden they're the best team in the NBA. You know what I mean? It's a tough battle, man. I don't know what it is that they see in Jalen that they don't want to give him the credit for it, but I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna be like, you know what, whatever you guys see, whatever, maybe. So I'm gonna vote Cade ultimately. I think Cade is my MVP runner-up for me.
Yeah, so I want you to think about this in the clutch moments, and I'm using stats for this part. In clutch moments, 86% of Cade's shots are unassisted. He's the only person that is this high on the list. Like his clutch moments as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about his game, bro. He doesn't need he'll get a screen for a pick and roll, but he doesn't need actions to set him up. And I think it's been a while since we've seen a player like that. It's been a while. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad either or. I just feel like Jaylen Brown, I feel like Nas. I think he should be hyped a little bit more than what he is right now. I don't think it's not media fairness to him at all. But again, the media doesn't really rock with him anyways.
I'd give him 3 because I think Shea also has had a lot of his teammates missing time, and I think that's also kind of,
It's going to be an interesting race for sure. I definitely think MVP is not close whatsoever, and a lot of players have shown a lot this season. But let's wrap it up with a quick one, man. Let's life on the line, livelihood is at risk. Who do you have winning NBA championship in 2026? Can't go back. Who's the team you're going to put all your money on? The only reason you can ever change your opinion is if they go through any major injuries. That's the only reason. Other than that, they're fully healthy. You got to stick with it till the end of the season. Who's the team?
I'm going Thunder. I think that Pacers team last season was a lot better than people thought, and I think that was one of the harder championships that people have had to go through. But I don't think people recognize it.
Yeah, it took the 7 games. I don't know how much harder it could be, right?
No, I'm saying the Pacers were really good.
Yeah,
and they just did not look as good as people as good as they really are.
I last year was a Pacers fan. I picked the Pacers.
You said some wild stuff. Your opinion cannot be validated. It cannot.
Oh my
God! You picked the Pacers once they started winning series. You picked the Pacers once they started winning series. I remember those arguments. As soon as they started winning those series, you started talking about the Pacers are going to win it. That's what you did
Nah, I
last
picked
year.
them since the Cavs.
You thought it was the Knicks.
No, I
As soon
picked
as
them-
You thought the Knicks were gonna beat the
as soon as they
Pacers.
beat the Cavs, as soon as they beat the
You
Cavs,
thought
that's
the Knicks
exactly
were
what I
gonna beat
just
the
said.
Pacers.
That's exactly what I just
ran with
said.
it. And I rolled with that trade.
As soon as
But
somebody
he also
wins,
thought the Knicks
that's
were gonna beat the Pacers. Don't forget that. He did think that.
This man think we don't pay
I
attention.
picked the Pacers
He
to beat
he
the
think
Knicks.
because he don't pay
Hold on.
attention, we don't pay attention.
I'm out. I picked the Pacers to beat the Knicks. Hold on. I never.
Shake
not
my hand.
once.
Shake my hand. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna post the clip. Shake my hand. We
I
read
can't
them.
shake your hand. I didn't watch them. Anyways,
Go ahead.
You nasty fuck.
Neither did I. My hands are dirty too. I don't care.
You guys know you're
but
not actually touching, right? Just putting that
I
out there.
think. But I'm with Tyler though. I'm with the Thunder. I think adding McCain, adding a legit scorer off the bench was the only thing they were really missing. An offensive spark plug that can help Shea and the starters out. So yeah, I'm going with the Thunder.
Listen. All I think is all you need is 1 year. All you need is 1 year to learn the ropes. All you need is 1 year to understand what it's like, what playoff basketball feels like. And I think they had it last year. I'm going for the Pistons. I think the Pistons win a championship this year.
Whoa.
I thought you were going to say the Lakers.
Oh,
when
no.
you
Yeah,
said 1
me
year, I'm
too.
thinking you meant 1 year of
That's
Luka
still
being on the
shocking.
Lakers.
Oh, no,
and
no,
I was
no.
like,
Still
no.
shocking, though.
No. I'm saying all you need to me is 1 year. If you're a good enough team, all you need is 1 year. If you're still in that phase of developing, you need more than 1 year. I think if you are able to get that 1 year out the way, and then you can show that it wasn't fluke, we are that good. We are even better than that. I think that 1 year is all you need to get the experience in those playoffs. I think Cade started a little questionable in the playoffs, but finished very strong last year.
He has some good battles with Kevin. Yeah.
I think he's going to have a phenomenal playoffs this year. I think Jalen Duren's ability to grow and be a better player this year is going to be big time for them. And I think adding some shooting is going to be very helpful for them as well. Overall, I think they've done what they need to do. So I'm picking the Pistons to win a championship as my dark horse. And that's what I'm going to stick with, assuming there's no major injuries or anything of that nature.
How many series do you think they won last season in the playoffs?
How many what?
How many series do you think they played last season?
They only played one.
And you think they're going to go for one series that they lost?
The championship.
Listen, call me the new Pluto. Call me Nudo.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Call me Nazudo. Listen,
Wrap this up, guys.
you know what? Call me Mars. That's what you gotta call me from now on. Call me Mars.
My evil brother Mars.
You could be Neptune.
Neptune. Yep. Call me Neptune, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the new
Yeah.
Pluto right here. Hot take of the year. Terrible take. Outrageous
Take me to Neptune.
Yeah. Pluto's not giving us enough content today, so I had to do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Pluto's not giving us enough content. He hasn't said enough crazy shit today, so we got to throw something
Make sure
in
you
there.
blur these fingers out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got. That's my hot take. We got 2 for the Thunder, 1 for the Pistons. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't worry, man. I'm going to edit this, guys. I know you guys are looking at that time slot and you're thinking to yourself, God damn it. But don't worry, I'm going to edit this, cut some stuff out that I felt like wasn't necessary for us to have on the podcast. So we'll be good to go. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Don't forget, we should have said this earlier, man. We can't keep saving this for the end because nobody watches till the end. Don't forget to join our Atleta Club, ladies and gentlemen. Please support us. Multiple different options. We have a giveaway, Aquatica tickets that will be announced at the end of the month on the Hooptalk podcast. So don't forget, if you want those Aquatica tickets, you got to be a member of the Atleta Club, all right? 2 tickets, completely free on us. Tyler might show up. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I apologize if he does. It was not part of the deal. But subscribe, like, comment, join the Atleta Club. Hoop Talk out. Deuces.